In this video we're going to look at my fantasy team. The third draft is Friday 8th of August. I made a few changes. The first thing I was considering is, do I want a goalkeeper from Nottingham Forest and a defender from Chelsea? Or a goalkeeper from Chelsea and a defender from Nottingham Forest? However, if you look at Chelsea, the goalkeeper is 5.0. The cheapest defender from Chelsea obviously was Colwill, 5.0. Who is nailed on, and Cucurella 6.0. But now Colwill has an ACL. Dus Colwill has a very bad injury. He has a ligament and he is out for several months. So Leo Colwill from Chelsea is not available for Chelsea. I'm not sure who will. I think they have a replacement, will be Badia Gil or Hato, the new signing from Ajax Amsterdam. I'm not sure, we don't know yet. But only Cucurella is now nailed on as a defender. He is 6.0. So the decision is made a bit easier. I put Sanchez in my team as a goalkeeper, which means I don't have a defender from Chelsea, but then I have a defender from Nottingham Forest. With Nottingham Forest, there is a lot of choice in defenders. I think that Murillo, Milenkovic, Williams and Aina, 5.0, 5.0, 5.5, 5.5. They're all four are pretty nailed on. I think I'm going for Murillo. I'm not made a decision yet, but Murillo, because of his defensive actions, because he's nailed on, he will play every minute. And I think he's a very strong player. I don't think he has any injuries. I think the problem with Williams was 5.0. I think he's a bit more like rotate. If he is going to rotate, he's not as nailed on as Murillo. I think Williams will be rotated more. And also Aina, because in the friendly game, I think yesterday, Aina didn't even start. So Aina is not as nailed on as you might think. And the same goes for maybe for Williams. We don't know. And I think Murillo, because also of his defensive actions, and he's nailed on, he will always play. I think he's a very safe pick. Now I put Dubravka in as second goalkeeper because it was Niels. Dubravka is going to Burnley. He will play for Burnley, and I think that he will be first goalkeeper. It's not sure yet, but to have a 4.0 goalkeeper as a starter, then for Burnley, is a bonus. I don't think I ever have that before. And now I have two starting goalkeepers. It's a bit of a no-brainer, of course. It doesn't make any sense to have your second goalkeeper 4.5 anymore. I think the ownership of Dubravka will go through the roof, higher than 80%. So I have Gay in my team. I kept Gay, I kept Esteve, Gabriel and Gudmundsson. Gabriel was injured, they said. He had a bit of a knock 1 week ago, but he played 2 days ago against Villarreal 30 minutes. So Gabriel is fit again. He played 30 minutes and I probably will play again this weekend. But he will start the first match against Manchester United. It's only on 17 August, so still a long way to go. But Gabriel will start normally. He is fit. I think he's a very safe pick. You need a safe pick. I want to have some safe picks. So Gabriel, Gay and Murillo, of course. I might choose Richards over Gay. It's either Gay or Richards. One of the two. Both are 4.5. And I think now I choose Gay. I can also choose Richards. I don't think it makes much difference. Now in midfield I changed. I was a bit of a toss of a coin between Rodgers and Semenyo. Because I kept Salah, Palmer, Wirtz and Anderson. I don't change that anymore. And I think, Rodgers, I think is or Semenyo. But I looked at the fixtures and I think Aston Villa has much easier fixtures than Bournemouth. And I think I will choose Rodgers because the fixtures are a bit easier to start with. In front, I have Watkins. I kept Pedro at this moment. I might change it, but I think Pedro will be a starter. Chelsea will play a friendly game this weekend, and maybe then we know a little bit more. And Guyu made a transfer to Sunderland and on a loan deal, but he might be a starter for Sunderland. He will be on the bench in my team, but to have someone on the bench who is starting for his team is a bit of a bonus. He might start for Sunderland. We don't know yet. But I want to talk again about the different price classes. If you look at the midfield, you see that it's 14.5, 10.5, 8.5, 7.0 and 5.5. Now I explained it the last time and I will go through that again. If you have different price classes, every player in the different price class, in the price range, it's a massive advantage that you can make every transfer you possibly make. And you see in Palmer, I have Palmer, Saka, Fernandez. I choose Palmer, I can easily make a transfer now. Palmer out, Saka in. The same goes for Florian Beers, now for Rodgers of course, and for Anderson. There are four, in my opinion, there are four price ranges, and I can make almost every transfer I want. For example, if Wirtz doesn't perform, doesn't start, and can replace him with Mamouche, Foden, Odegaard, Cunha and Mbeumo, it doesn't matter. If Mbeumo performs very well, I can get him in and Wirtz out. The same goes obviously for maybe Mitoma. Mitoma is a very good start. Mitoma is starting every match, is doing very well. And get Mitoma in and Rodgers out, because they are cheaper than the player I have, or you have the same price. So making a transfer is very easy. And that's a big advantage of having different price ranges. Also in defense I have 6.0, 5.5 and 4.5 and 4.0, and the goalkeeper is 5.0. I covered every price. In the forwards I think the same thing, there are more expensive forwards. Also you have Haaland, but Haaland is 14.0, he's in a different price. But in the price range 8.0, which is more expensive, 10.5, there are only 5 forwards, but I choose Watkins. The only problem is that Isak is more expensive. So if I want to have Watkins out and Isak in, I can't do that. Because Isak is 1.5 more expensive. That's a bit of a problem, but I think we don't know what happens to Isak, and does he go to Liverpool or doesn't he go to Liverpool? We don't know yet. So nothing we can say about that. Then the other price range, 6.0, 7.5, I got Pedro. I can easily replace him with Wissa, Mateta, Wood, Havertz, Solanke, and so on. And then we have a very cheap price range, is Guyo 4.5, but I keep Guyo of course on the bench, and I don't think I will replace him, I just keep him on the bench. But the advantage is that with all those price ranges you can easily make a transfer now. The only problem is Isak. But it was the third draft so far, it was the third version of my fantasy team. There will be more, just keep an eye on the injuries. On the injury front, I think I have to say that Colwill from Chelsea has an ACL, Maddison from Tottenham Hotspur also has an ACL, so they're out for a very long time.